Well, in a surprise turn of events, me and Mrs. Cooking were able to return to the cinema this week. In a turn of events that will surprise nobody, we only had 4 films to choose from. Captain America Civil War from 2016, Big Hero 6 dubbed in Vietnamese from 2014, Unhinged with Russell Crowe, and Endless. We ended up watching Endless purely because I got confused and thought it was The Endless, a completely different film that has a 97% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So was this as good as that? Endless is a 2020 American drama romance film directed by Scott Speer and starring Alexandra Shipp, Nicholas Hamilton, Famke Janssen, and Ian Tracey, who I think is legally obligated to appear in any movies or TV shows filmed in Canada. When madly in love high school graduates Riley and Chris are separated by a tragic car accident, Riley blames herself for her boyfriend's death, while Chris is stranded in limbo. Miraculously, the two find a way to connect in a love story that transcends life and death. Both Riley and Chris are forced to learn the hardest lesson of all: letting go. So this is another movie that I've watched recently that doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. It's essentially Disney Channel Ghost, you know, the Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore movie from the 80s. Just, you know, it's a Disney Channel movie, essentially, with a bigger budget and a slightly more adult theme. I suspect Lotte Entertainment, who do most of the distribution for the films here in Vietnam, have bought this one up just to stuff it into the schedules because they're that desperate. They've started re-releasing movies from years ago. So we've got Captain America Civil War and Big Hero 6 at the minute. Big Hero 6 came out in 2014. That's how bad things have got in 2020 for cinemas. Weirdly enough, I didn't hate this movie. It's probably the best movie I've seen since January at the cinema when I went and watched Bad Boys for Life with Will Smith. Yeah, that's still the highest grossing movie of 2020. I don't even think it grossed 250 million. As always, firstly, the bad points, and there's only really 2 things about this film that are both sort of technical, really. Firstly, there's one scene where Famke Janssen teleports halfway through a sentence. So I guess what happened is she did 2 takes and one had a perfect first half of a sentence and the one had a perfect second half of a sentence, but she filmed them in 2 different places in the kitchen, and so halfway through a sentence she literally just teleports, which is a little bit weird. And the second one was there's one scene where the sound is a little bit funny. It's kind of echoey, like they didn't have the correct mic for the location that they were filming in, so the sound's a little bit dodgy. The acting from Alexandra Shipp especially is sometimes a little bit ropey in this, which is a surprise because she appeared along with Famke Janssen in one of the X-Men movies. I think she was Storm. I know that's not the greatest sign of quality, but they're at least big blockbuster. It's a bigger sign of quality than appearing in this movie. So on to the good stuff, and I didn't mind the narrative. I was engaged by the story and the characters throughout. I wasn't bored by this movie, which, you know, recently the films I have been watching, I have been looking at my phone going, oh my god, when is this over? When can I leave the cinema? And they've only been like 80-minute, 90-minute movies. This is a 95-minute movie, and it flew past, you know, it passed the time. Happily sat there and munched my popcorn. In fact, the characters are likeable enough in this movie that there were a couple of points where it was almost tear-jerking enough to thaw my cold, cold, dead heart. It's another week and another movie that should have just gone straight to streaming but has been dumped into Vietnam cinemas to fill the schedules. And to be honest, it's not as bad as the other movies I've been watching, so seeing as my ratings are relative, this is getting a 3 out of 5 because it's above average crap. I wouldn't rush out to the cinema to watch it, but if you've see it on streaming, then it's worth a watch. It'll pass 95 minutes and you'll not regret watching it, really.